Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. This is Mindy Eggen, and in today's video I am going to share with you a really fun new technique using the alcohol pearl inks from Ranger. While this may not be a brand new technique, it is new to me, and this is alcohol ink smooshing. So not only is this a really fun technique to make backgrounds with, I'm also going to step it up a notch by adding some texture with stencils. Now, the first thing that I'm going to need is some Yupo paper. This is what I prefer to use for my alcohol ink backgrounds. It's a synthetic paper, meaning it's kind of like plastic in a way. The alcohol ink is not going to absorb into the paper. Next are some alcohol inks. So this is where I store my regular alcohol inks and my alcohol pearl inks. This is a tin storage unit from Ranger, and I'm just going to pull out some colors that I think would work really well together. Some are going to make a rainbow, and then I just have some blues and greens and purples. So for my first background, I have a green, blue, and a purple here. It is Sublime, what did I have? Villainous and Tranquil. The magic tool I will be using to do my smooshing is a piece of wax paper. Now this I have to be slightly larger than my alcohol ink background, which is 5x7, and I am starting off with the green, which is the Sublime Pearl ink, and I'm just adding little drops of it, just kind of spreading it around onto that background. You can see I also like to wear some plastic gloves to protect my fingers. So I have the green, blue, and the purple. And then I'm going to take that wax paper and place it right over the top of the inks. And immediately you can see that ink spreads out. So then I'm just going to take my finger and rub that around. You can see the colors mixed together. So I was really mindful of what colors I was placing next to each other and just spreading that out a little bit. Now you can do any type of like little design if you want to do swishes or anything like that. Once I'm happy with it, I'm going to peel this up. And we have this really cool background. Now you can see there are some marks in there where the alcohol ink kind of settled a little bit before it smushed, but I really like this kind of artistic vibe that it has going on. So I'm going to set this off on the side to dry for a little while to work on my next background. Now, I will admit this next one is not my favorite, but I'm leaving it in the video to show you not everything completely works out the way we want it to. I started out creating kind of a rainbow. So I believe this is Enchanted and Alchemy. So I know those two mixed together are going to create an orange. Then I have Tranquil, and then I will add the Villainous. So rainbow order, knowing that these colors mixed together are going to create those in-between colors of the rainbow. And my mistake I think I made was adding this alloy. This is a gilded color, and normally this adds beautiful sparkle to your alcohol inks, but I think just with the smooshing technique, it didn't really work out very well. So I'm just laying that wax paper on top, and then I'm smooshing this ink all around. So I really do love using this wax paper to do this, and I kind of end up doing like brush strokes. If I move my finger back and forth, I'm creating kind of those brush strokes on there, which I thought was just really cool. So then I'm peeling back up that wax paper. So I love the design on this, but not really liking what that gilded alloy did to the background. So I'm going to try and fix that. I came back in with that alloy again. This is the Gilded, and added a drop of it down there where I had originally placed it. Then I'm adding some rubbing alcohol, and I'm using my puffer tool to just kind of move that around, adding some more rubbing alcohol. This was just not working for me, but I really loved that rainbow and did not want to get rid of this background. So I decided the best way to try and resolve this is just adding more ink on top. So once again, going through those same exact colors, trying to cover that up a little bit. And then I'm going to place another piece of wax paper over the top and go back and forth with my finger to kind of give those brush stroke lines again. I really liked that look, so I was hoping to kind of salvage that a little bit. Then I'll carefully peel that wax paper up, and I'm going to set this off on the side to dry. With alcohol inks, it really doesn't take a long time to dry unless you're really layering up and moving that ink around and kind of pooling it on the edges. So this didn't take long to dry. And I decided to step this up a little bit to try and kind of disguise where that Gilded was. And I am using a Hexagon stencil from Honeybee Stamps, and I'm going to adhere this to that Yupo paper just using some low tack tape, or this is the Easy C tape. And now this time I am bringing in some texture paste. Now this is the transparent gloss. So it's going to be see-through, transparent, and it's going to be really shiny. It's a gloss. So I'm just taking my spatula and spreading that all over the background. And now I'm going to add a little bit more sparkle to it by spritzing on with my glitter duster. And this is just some really fine detailed glitter from Ranger and Tim Holtz. And then once I have that dusted on there, I'm going to carefully remove the stencil and set this off on the side to dry. So while this is drying, I'm going to work on my other background. Now this background, I really loved how this came out. I love the colors that I used and just kind of that artistic feel that it has to it. So now this time I'm using the Whimsical Hearts stencil from Honeybee Stamps, and I am adding on the iridescent glitz glitter gel from Gina K Designs. No matter what, you can never go wrong with iridescent glitz glitter gel. It just looks awesome on everything. So once again, applying that with the palette knife, scraping off any of the excess, and I'll put that back into the jar. And then I'll carefully remove my stencil. Now the glitz glitter gel doesn't really take too long to dry. So I will give you a heads up, that transparent gloss that I used did take a long time to dry. I actually let it sit on my desk and I went and watched 3 episodes on Netflix. So just to kind of give you a heads up, the texture paste did take a while to dry, but the iridescent glitz glitter gel does not. So I am using the Hello word die. This is off of the Slimline Sentiments Eyelet die set. I die cut it once from gold glitter cardstock and white cardstock and layered it together with the Honeybee Stamps liquid glue. And the panel, once it was completely dry, I had trimmed it down to 3 3/4 by 5 inches and added it to a white note card. Then I'm just finishing it off with the rainbow jewel mix there from Honeybee Stamps. So here is a closer look. You're getting a little bit of a glimpse of that glitter that I added. It just adds a little bit of texture and character to that background along with that hexagon you can see there. Not quite what I had planned, but I salvaged it, I saved it, and I was still able to turn this into a card. Now for the other card, once it was dry, I did the same thing, just trimming that down to 3 3/4 by 5 inches and layering it onto a white note card. And then I have a hello die cut from some gold holographic cardstock. And then finishing it off with a few of the rainbow jewels. So this one I really do think is my favorite. Between the colors and the iridescent glitz glitter gel, it just a lot of things on here that I love. So this is a really fun technique. I mean, ink smooshing in general is really fun, but doing it with the alcohol inks and that wax paper was just something really new to me, and I hope you'll give it a try too. All of the supplies will be listed down below in the video description. I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you again real soon. If you're not already a subscriber and you liked my video today, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel and also click that little bell notification so you are notified when any new videos are posted. Here is another video you may also enjoy.